This take is you know what? Let's make it a request to the NBA. I'm going to make this an official request. Two guys with spare time to the NBA. I want to see some more metrics. Yeah, nowadays in today's modern era of sport, we got all these metrics and cameras and tracking and how many steps before, you shot the ball and how many minutes in possession and how many passes to an assist or something like that, right? That you can now track in today's game. I'm going to pitch here that why don't we start to track some satisfaction metrics? I don't know, how many smiles per 100 possessions? How many high fives per game? Yeah, how many minutes did that player spend sitting or standing on the bench? Were they standing and cheering, or were they standing because they had nowhere to sit on the bench because they're a rookie? I don't know. And there's a serious side to this. There's a serious side to this because we take all this data and we gather all these metrics to improve the output of our players. And by improving the output of the game, we increase the chances and the odds of a positive outcome for the game for our team. That's ultimately called a win. And so, therefore, if you could track satisfaction metrics for your players, you would be able to manage them better and get more out of them. I don't know. That's the topic.
It was ridiculous up until I thought about it for 5 seconds. You're not wrong. Would it be that hard to hire someone who maybe sits opposite the bench and just watches
Hmm.
and just watches, maybe even if you just film the bench and then you watched it back, counting the high fives,
Hmm.
counting the smiles, etc. And what you do is you'd eventually be able to plot data, right? So let's say you
Hmm.
had 10 games in a row, and let's say Fauzi averages, 77 high fives a game, right? Which is ridiculous. But let's say that's true. And it's like
League
he's
leader,
super
league
accurate.
leader, league leader.
Yeah, league leader. And then you go down the list and you're like, oh, it's really interesting. Like Kyrie Irving averages like four high fives a game.
Hmm.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
And it kind of creates data out of culture, so to speak. You wonder if you could do like player surveys. I know that they do them already, but maybe if you did them quarterly or every 20 games just to get that insight. It
But
would
see,
be a
here's the catch. See,
bastardization of data though.
player surveys, though, you think about this. You get given a piece of paper at your job, and you go, "Please fill this out every quarter, every year,
Yeah,
whatever."
you're right.
You
Yeah.
have your data there is usually biased and invalid to a greater extent. You're going to just tick all the boxes, yeah, 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 or maybe just tick the
Yeah,
middle
yeah, yeah.
box. I'm indifferent to every single area. Okay, I think this area of metrics to collect, satisfaction metrics, is genuine because you're basically capturing people's reactions, emotions, uh, based upon satisfaction. And like you said, there's a level of seriousness to what I'm pitching here, because with that, you would then over multi years be able to compare how a satisfaction of a player tracks. So, for example, if you had this satisfaction metrics and you looked at Damian Lillard for the last 4 or 5 seasons, you might see that going down. Yeah, you might see that going down. Suddenly now CJ McCollum's not there anymore. His hugs per game has gone down from 5 hugs a game to none. I don't know. It doesn't want to hug any of the rookies anymore.
Averaging
I
two
don't know. You know,
HPGs.
how
Yeah.
many physical interactions with a teammate that he made a contact with them with his hand or with his shoulder or something along those lines, or a chest bump or something like that. There's so many metrics you could collect here to build a data chart on a player and their satisfaction, okay, in a game situation, which then could translate into improving the player performance, because that's what it's all about.
The only thing you'd factor in would be like personality types. So like I look at someone like KD who seems to be quite a solitary, introverted individual, really doesn't want to, be too vocal. And, you've even heard the whole like alpha thing with him. Like I don't think he's as vocal as other players are. LeBron kind of really up and down. You see him being very expressive, very happy at times, but then also will walk off on his teammates and do that. Yeah, look, I don't think it's ridiculous to have that data collected. I don't think the average fan would care. I don't even think the super serious fans would care. Um, but I'm sure that if I was scrolling on my phone and saw a reel and it said, "Did you know that LeBron James is averaging four less handshakes a game?" I'd be like, "I will click on this because I'm a fool." Um, but I don't know if it'd change my life much more beyond that.
Well, you know what? That's how data is trending now anyway. There's so much data that right now I probably don't even know half the data the NBA is collecting, nor does the public even know. Hell, maybe the NBA is already collecting satisfaction data. So I'm asking for it to be released. I'd like to know how many smiles a game LeBron provides, you know, over the course of 48 minutes. I don't know. To me, it feels like something that the fan, like you said, would be interested in and would engage in. And you know, at the end of the day, player satisfaction is important. You know, is important. You know, whether as an organization or whether as a player or whether as a teammate, you know, you definitely. I don't know. I think this is a real tangible area of the game that has yet to be, I don't know, utilized. I think that's the point. I think it's yet to be utilized. I don't know. So let's say I said it here first. This is two guys with spare time. I'm Faz, this is Nick. You're probably a basketball fan like us, so hopefully you can throw us an assist and giving our video a like and subscribing to our channel.
And if you got thoughts, feelings, or even some suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. And thank you for using your spare time to watch us in our spare time.